What was your fine, I'll do it myself moment? At my last job, I worked in a mid-sized office with about 50 people. Most of them were fine. But there was one guy, Doug, who made my skin crawl from the very first day. At first, I thought I might be overreacting. He stood too close when we talked. He'd bump into me in the break room, always acting like it was an accident. He commented on my earrings once and said they made me look dangerous in a good way. I smiled politely, but I was already uncomfortable. It didn't stop there. Doug started touching my chair when I was sitting in it, saying he was adjusting it to be helpful. I never asked for help. One day after lunch, I found a sticky note on my mouse with a hand-drawn heart on it. No name, just a heart. But I knew who it was from. Everyone did. He was bold about it too. He called me sweetheart during meetings. He made little comments like, looking sharp today, with this smug look on his face like we were in on some joke. But it wasn't a joke to me. I went to my manager, Rachel. I told her everything. She listened, nodded, and said she'd handle it. I left her office thinking something would finally change. A few days later, Doug messaged me on Slack. Didn't take you for a snitch. That was the moment I knew Rachel had said something to him, just not in the way I needed her to. After that, it got worse. He would show up at my desk constantly. He started asking weird personal questions, like what kind of guys I dated. Once, when we were both by the printer, he leaned in and said, if you weren't so uptight, we'd probably get along better. I froze. I felt sick. I reported him to HR. They told me there wasn't enough to go on. They suggested I avoid being alone with him, like that was even possible in our office. That night, I opened a new folder on my laptop and started collecting everything. I saved screenshots, Slack messages, emails, and even voice recordings from meetings. I documented every interaction. It took about a month to pull it all together, but eventually I had enough to build a clear timeline. I waited until the company's annual culture review. It was the one time employees could submit anonymous feedback to the executive team. I uploaded one file. It was a video that showed every message, every comment, and every moment that had been ignored. At the end, I added a single sentence. This was reported twice. Nothing changed. By the following week, things were different. Doug didn't show up for work. The office started buzzing. I stayed quiet and let the video speak for itself. By Friday, Doug was fired. They said it was from his conduct. Rachel resigned not long after, though the company called it a mutual decision. The CEO called me personally. He asked if I wanted to stay. I told him I appreciated the call, but I had already made my decision. I gave my 2 weeks. And when I walked out on my last day, I felt free.